I am probably the dumbest person I know. And currently I have the shittiest person PC ever right now. The only thing good right now is my RAM. I have like 48 something RAM, but I have a 2060 graphics card. Not Ti, just 2060, and I had it for like about 6 years now, almost. Um, this is currently my first PC. And I have been leaving it on for a long time during those 6 years. So some things fucked up with it. Most likely my CPU. But currently I'm going to upgrade my PC, and I am deciding between a 40, not 40, 5070 or a 9070 from AMD, and then the 5070 for RTX. The problem as to why I'm thinking about it, I know AMD is a lot more catered towards gaming, but because I'm a content creator, I need to work on shit like editing videos. So DaVinci Resolve is a very heavy thing I do in my on my PC, and I keep hearing that 5070 is more for both gaming and content creators, while AMD is way more leaning towards gaming itself. Probably because of the VRAM usage, and the price doesn't get super increased because of VRAM. It's like still under 600. At least I'm looking at Amazon right now, right? And currently the AMD that I'm looking at, that's 9070 with the 16 gigabytes, is 569 bucks at the moment. The 5070 that I have, let me look at it right now. Not that I have, that I'm looking at. 5070 RTX. Currently at 12 gigabytes, listed for 543. So it's really not that big of a price difference. Now, what does a 5070 cost when it has 16 gigabytes? Let's see how it is. RTX 16. That goes up to what I'm looking at right now on Amazon, 849 bucks. So it's really not an uncommon thing to know that RTX is very greedy when it comes to money and prices. So AMD is kind of like the more liked company, I believe, but RTX is just somehow more popular. I don't know how that works. Like I said, I'm very new to all this shit. The most that I know right now is basic. Oh, what is this PC part? What does it do? That's all I know, really. But I want to learn more about the insides of the stuff, the specs, the wiring, just everything, how it works. And I've kind of always been into that kind of shit. I just never really pursued it because I felt dumb. That's pretty much it. I was into gaming and technology, but there were people far more smarter than I am. That's still true today. But I just like it so much that I want to learn more about it. The more I watch it, the more I realize that I'm messing with the shit that I want to learn about. And when I open my PC for the first time to install like an SSD M.2 drive, this is gonna sound really corny, but it was like kind of surreal. I got to see everything on the inside of the computer and shit, and it was in my room on the floor. I was opening it up, hardwood surface, not a soft rug, and I was looking at all the inside, and I was like fascinated with all like the parts that I could see. Keep in mind, it was a fucking. I'm working with a Dell PC pre-built. This is my first PC ever, so it doesn't open the way an actual gaming PC would. It's the XPS series, so it opens like a weird doorway. That part I could care less about. Because I already know it's not as good as it is for like an actual gaming PC, but the parts inside, no matter how bad they were, it was still the first PC that I've ever really opened up in my life. That was mine. And seeing all that shit firsthand it was cool. It was really cool. And being able to install that M.2 drive myself I just felt like a kid playing with Legos for the first time. That's how it felt for me. And that like sparked something in me. I have a camera case. Quick topic change. And my old HD hard drive from 6 years ago is in that case because I couldn't let it go. Because to me, it was like a reminder of like where my love really started. And I know that 6 years is a very long time. I could have learned a lot at that time, but I was in high school and I was like worried about my own future, learning about other shit that's not, you know, PC related because I hate math. And I had this misconception that it's only math. Obviously, there is a lot of math involved, but the hardware itself was just something that I really liked putting together. Just holding it, putting it onto shit, and just seeing how it all comes together. That's the part that I love the most about it. That's what I'm talking about. So here I am now, watching Linus Tech Tips. When it comes to their channel, they describe it in ways that to me I find entertaining. So I'm watching more of their channel to really learn about this shit, really learn more about it. Obviously, I'm not only using YouTube only. I'm looking it up myself to see what does what. But right now, I'm trying to see which graphics card is more suited for me. I'm kind of leaning more towards the 5070. I know the AMD is technically better than the 5070, but because the 5070 has like, oh my god, more capabilities that are better for content creation, it's like, oh, I guess I might as well go for that instead. So I don't know. Also, I'm more used to NVIDIA, and I think that's why it's like more popular, because a lot more people are more used to NVIDIA. So it's like, why change that? Why change what you're already used to? I guess, and that common trend of like keeping things simple and what you already know, maybe it contributes to why it's more popular in the first place, I think. But I hear the more professional, like, an experienced choice is AMD. So, I don't know. But anyway, enough yapping for me. Let's see how it is to this guy.
When NVIDIA's CEO told the world that the RTX 5070 would deliver...
Oh, my assumed answer is that he did not like it. That's my answer.
For RTX 4090 performance for almost 1/3 of the price, I said...
Probably want to see it.
But... now that it's here, it's clear that I was wrong. I'm seeing it, and yet I don't believe it. This is Cyberpunk running at 4K on our 5070, and it is getting more FPS than the RTX 4090 that is right beside it. But
okay,
how many blades is...
Keep in mind, I'm upgrading from a 2060 RTX to a 5070 or 9070. Literally, this is an upgrade for me, a huge upgrade for me regardless. So I'm not really complaining about like which one I get. Like, no matter what I get in the end, it's still an upgrade. I'm not really going to be disappointed at all.
Is that fan supposed to have? And does my car have extra bumpers?
Impossible without artificial intelligence.
Obviously, the RTX 5070 was never going to match the 4090's capabilities without a little bit of AI doping. But come on, I was at...
So sorry, I'll be talking a lot throughout the video because, you know, it's a reaction video first and foremost. But anyway, I keep hearing the AI integrations, like, it kind of ruins it, apparently. Because it's AI in the first place, it's like messing up how the game looks sometimes, or it's like an item looks different, or just kind of that, really. Just things look different, pretty much. So that's what I'm worried about the most, is the AI part. Like, if I get this, will my games, they'll run better, but will they look worse, is my opinion, or question.
At least hoping that it would beat the RTX 4070 Super in raw power. And yet, in Alan Wake at 1080p, these two cards are dead tied, and at 1440p, it wins by a mere 1 FPS. Is there anything to be excited about?
Well, yes. In spite of his advancing age, LeBron is actually dunking better than ever.
No, I mean about the RTX 5070.
Sorry. Despite NVIDIA's advancing profits, dunking on them is better than ever.
All right then, let's get to it. After this layup to our sponsor.
ThreatLocker. I went to their Zero Trust World event last month where they had some awesome activities and even unveiled a few new advanced features like web control and patch management. Click our link in the description or keep watching to the end of the video to learn more.
This channel has been around for so long, man.
Since this is currently NVIDIA's entry card for the 50 series, why don't we start with our entry resolution? 1080p with all real frames, no DLSS upscaling, and no ray tracing. And you know what? While we actually did get identical performance to last year's 4070 Super in Alan Wake 2, we did find improvements in some other titles. Black Myth Wukong sees a 5% increase.
Okay, so compared to like other graphics, some graphics card, the impression I'm getting is that some graphics card, regardless of what series they're at, they work better for other games compared to other graphics cards. And I was looking at this shit before, and I realized that the 5070 works better for some games more than the AMD 9070. And it's like back and forth. It's likewise. But Black Myth Wukong is actually the one game that I anticipate to play, so I guess this is somewhat of a good thing for me. The kind of games I like to play are like Dragon's Dogma 2, Black Myth Wukong soon, Where Everyone's Meet. So if that's a game more catered towards the RTX 5070, then I might just go for that, really. But at the same time, it kind of seems like the 5070 is a lot more... It's overhyped by the company, it seems like. And the AMD, it really does seem like a better choice. And yeah, it's not as good for content creation compared to 5070, from what I'm hearing, from what I'm learning. But how big is that difference? And does it really matter so much? That also applies to my question about the VRAM. Like, the 5070 has like 12 gigabytes, while the AMD has like 16. Is the difference that big? I hear it is because of like the future. It's a good investment for like games coming out in the future. So damn, the more I talk about this, I know I said that the 5070 was my choice, but now I'm kind of leaning more towards the AMD. My God. Okay, shit. Fuck.
And we even got a sizable 8% improvement in average FPS in Cyberpunk 2077 and in Returnal. Unfortunately, that's where our good times stop rolling. Because in Red Dead Redemption 2, The Last of Us Part 1, and F1 2024,
oh my God,
the
bro.
5070 actually loses to the 4070 Super?
I know he's acting surprised, but it really does seem like he saw this coming. That's the impression I get, dude.
I need a moment to process this. Okay, I'm good. And now it's time to add insult to injury, because not only does it lose to its last-gen counterpart, but in F1, it also loses to AMD's RX 7800 XT, a GPU that launched a year and a half ago for $500 US.
My God.
But, all right, Linus, maybe the move to GDDR7, though, is gonna help it pull away from the crowd when we kick our resolution into mid-gear. Mid-gear is 1440p.
Oh boy, you guys better be ready for this, because instead of tying in Alan Wake 2 this time, the 5070 wins by 1 frame per second, but instead of losing to Red Dead Redemption 2, it ties this time. As for the rest,
God.
It looks like overall at 1440p, the 5070 manages a...
So I know I just talked about how the upgrade from a 2060 to a 5070/9070 is still good overall, but if I can get better performance from the 9070 for just a little bit more money, I kind of will just go for that. Really, it's still under $600, and I'm very limited when it comes to money. I have a part-time, but I'm also in college, so it's just I don't have time to make all the money that I want, unfortunately.
About a 4% improvement over the 4070 Super, though this card was never meant to compete in traditional raster. Let's talk more about ray tracing results.
Let's do, because it turns out when NVIDIA uses AMD's Kryptonite and starts tracing rays, the 5070 pulls away from Team Red pretty handily.
Okay, that's what I hear about RTX, that when it comes to ray tracing, it's like way better. But I'm less about the looks and more about the performance, really. And I hear that's how AMD works. Like, it's better in terms of like performance and stuff. But yeah.
Beating even the mighty 7900 XTX on average across our 1080p test suite. However, it is worth noting that if we remove Black Myth Wukong, which was a bit of an outlier, it falls back to bouncing in between the 4070 Super and 4070 Ti. Wait, try to read positively. Okay. The good news is that at 1440p, who am I kidding? It's literally the 4070 Super again, with only Returnal standing out as a clear win with a 6.5% uplift. As for 4K, guys, we didn't even bother testing that due to the 5070's anemic 12 gigabytes of VRAM. What is the deal with this card then? The 5070 Ti might not be available at its MSRP, which totally blows,
Goddamn,
but
bro.
at least that card performs in
shit.
theory. It's like 30% better than this thing. That is not a Ti, non-Ti difference. So why does the 5070 feel like a whole lower class of card rather than a proper 70?
Well, because it pretty much is. We won't dive too deep into NVIDIA's new Blackwell architecture, since we've done it a few times already, but we do need to talk about which Blackwell dies goes into which cards. Because it turns out that the 5070 Ti is using the GB203 die, and while the 5070 is using the GB205. And unfortunately, in this case, a higher number does not mean that it's better. It has significantly fewer RT cores, fewer tensor cores, fewer shading units, fewer
I have no idea what the shit is, but I'm just trying to understand it the best way I can.
TMUs, and fewer ROPs, and I think you get the point by now. And if we actually go back in time and compare this to the 3070 family, both of those use the same GA104 chip, with the only changes being a 4% bump in CUDA cores, a 2% bump in clock speeds, and an upgrade from GDDR6 to GDDR6X memory. Oh, sorry, Linus.
The idea that I
That's
get
why
is
they
that
perform
it's not
similarly,
that good.
but one being a bit more TI than the other. This time around, the 5070 Ti is more like a cut down 5080, and the 5070 is more like a roided out 5060. Which would be fine if they were priced accordingly.
Okay, but surely there's gotta be somewhere that this card stands out. Oh, and there is. But I don't know if you're gonna like it. To NVIDIA's credit, their AI improvements in their Blackwell architecture do really shine through in, well, our AI tests, where not only does it beat the 4070 Super, but it seems to perform more like a 4070 Ti Super. Of course, with that said, AI workloads really benefit from lots of VRAM, and the 12 gigs on this card definitely ends up preventing it from...
Yeah, and the price difference from, like, you know, it's like a $200 difference from going to 12 to 16 gigabytes. It's just, I'm not going to pay $800 when I can pay, like, under $600 for a graphics card with similar value from AMD. Like, I just don't think it's worth it. I mean, it's obviously not.
Being legitimately useful with larger models. The updated media engine is another bright spot though. The 5070 pulls ahead of the 4070 Ti Super in DaVinci Resolve, and even gets within striking distance of the 5070 Ti in Premiere Pro.
See, that's what I'm talking about, because I use the DaVinci Resolve programs. So it just, like, that's like the biggest attraction to me, is like there's the content creation aspect, is that the 5070 works really well for that. And I don't know, man. I can't do content creation without a good content creation spec hardware, you know? So it's like, damn, I don't know.
But with that said, if you were thinking, oh, sick, well, the 5070 is a productivity wunderkind then. Don't get ahead of yourself, because in our Blender barbershop test, we are right back to 4070 Super performance. Maybe it runs super cool and efficient though?
About that, while the 5070 looks like its bigger Founders Edition brothers, there's one key area here where it loses the genetic lottery. Only one of those two fans in its blow-through design actually blows through the fins and out the other side. This resulted in us seeing a 73-degree average in F1 and a 77-degree average in Combustor. Yikes. It's not thermal throttling or anything, but this puppy...
Oh, real quick, speaking of like thermal shit, I haven't replaced my thermal paste in those 6 years I was talking about, so I think that's a pretty big reason as to why my computer isn't performing well. If you know like how often you should replace your thermal paste, let me know in the comments, because I need to know.
is getting as hot as the 5090 was, which is a little surprising given it's using less than half of the power of the 5090. It is a much smaller card, making it easier to fit in a small form factor build or something. But just make sure you've got plenty of ventilation so it can stay cool. As cool as you'll look in our new Framework hoodie with the all-over embroidery. It's expensive, but it looks cool. LTTstore.com.
Really is cool, isn't it?
Oh, you're back. All right, dunking aside, the question is this new card for anyone? And believe it or not, the answer is yes, but it probably isn't you. See, the target market for the RTX...
It's okay, so here's what I think is what he's gonna say. It gives more frames, but for someone who is more critique and specific about their PC, they're not gonna like it. But for the average gamer who just wants more frames, they'll like it. That's my guess here. I think I'm wrong though, probably, because it's probably some other more complicated shit that I just don't get.
5070 is not your PC gaming enthusiasts or your PC building enthusiasts. It's gamers, which sound like the same thing, but hear me out. See, enthusiasts are gonna peep at pixels. They're gonna obsess.
No fucking way I got that. Wait, I'm right? I'm right? Damn. Maybe I do have a brain.
Over the little details. Whereas gamers, well, they just demand more pixels and higher FPS. And whether you personally like AI upscaling or NVIDIA's frame generation technology, which interpolates extra frames from fewer real ones, there's no doubt that NVIDIA has delivered on lots of pixels at high frame rates. And if you enable those features, the 5070 really does match or even beat the raw numbers of last generation's flagship.
Sure.
And most gamers, unless their base frame rate is so low that they notice the sluggish input latency, probably won't care. And I guess that's fine.
I mean, I have a 2060. Like, I don't, like, it's still an upgrade for me regardless. It's true, I don't care because it's still an upgrade, a huge upgrade, in fact. But I don't really, like, I don't know. Because the downsides kind of just, they appear too much for me, honestly.
Problem, though, is that not every game supports these magical more FPS buttons. And in unsupported titles, this card is a steaming pile. And the only silver lining is that, I guess by sucking so hard, it probably won't get scalped much? Oh wait, no, there is one other silver lining. If you can wait about 24 hours, AMD is launching a price competitor to this thing that has 33% more VRAM and, on paper, much better performance. Of course, it's AMD we're talking about here, so
I'll believe it when I see it.
Just like I'll believe this segue to our sponsor.
Threat Locker. Their Zero Trust World cybersecurity event happened last month, and I attended.
Okay, so does AMD, like, does it just kind of fall behind a little bit when it comes to NVIDIA? Is that how it works? Like, NVIDIA does have a better, what is it? Back-to-back, like, winning. I don't know how to explain it. The cards they release often are a bit more better than the ones AMD releases, is what I'm thinking here. Could be wrong, though.
To check out some of the super cool sessions and workshops, along with some hands-on demonstrations, like where we used a Hack 5 rubber ducky to mess around with some laptops, and there was also guest speakers like Reggie Fils-Aimé. They also announced a few new features. Insights collects data from millions of endpoints worldwide and presents them as actionable information, saving you countless of hours of researching. And Patch Management consistently scans devices for outdated applications and those in need of patching. Plus, they even have web control, which can easily build libraries of restricted websites and add another layer to your cybersecurity cake. So go learn more about the new features to their comprehensive security software today by clicking our link in the description.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to find out more about HK Gaming,
I didn't mind to close that. Yeah, that's Science Tech Tips. I think you already obviously know where you can find the video, but also link it in the bio regardless. yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and watch the AMD version now that he reviewed. Yeah, and I'll post a video about that too. Goodbye.